Hey guys, it's time to get started with Bollocks this evening, and it's a fun Wednesday night, and Wednesday night means it's the Wager Wire, and next Wednesday it'll be the Wednesday Wine Hour.
Yeah.
All right, the Wager Wire,
Happy
that's
boy.
when we give out our bets for the week. The only person who really did well last week was Lenny.
I did.
You know, Lenny did okay. I won on your Mets is the only game I actually won, and Blake's still not allowed to play yet because he's still working at Flagler.
Oh,
So
interesting.
He can't technically play until his Flagler
Where's
days are
that?
over. It's an NCAA school.
Oh, okay.
So,
Yeah,
it's an
Because that
NCAA
stops anybody.
Yeah.
Because
so-
Parrish thought any college athletes don't bet.
Well,
no.
my guy's straight up.
I don't doubt Blake. He's,
So no athletes, no staff can bet on any sport that the NCAA sanctions. So I can't do basketball, baseball, that sort of stuff. I can't do hockey. I can do the Indy 500 though.
Oh, you can do
so you can't do anything that's
Indy-
collegiate.
Yeah.
Okay.
So no sport that has that is sanctioned by the NCAA regardless of level. But most sports and
Well,
table tennis.
no
are
matter
fine.
what, you're not going to gamble until you're no longer working there. We don't want to push any marginal errors, and then you can step up your gambling game with reason. So, hey, you know what we got to do though? We got to talk about how amazing our sponsors are. We appreciate you guys. And Lenny is typing sideways. Can you zoom in on Lenny typing sideways right now? He has a touch screen, but he's typing sideways. He's getting his bets in, is what he's doing. I don't know what he's doing.
I'm
over there.
not. I can't log in on this stupid thing.
All right.
So.
All right, we got to talk about our amazing sponsor because we are here in the Ford,
Oh, look at me.
Bozard Ford Studio and Bozard Ford Lincoln in St. Augustine. Their goal is
That's
to make
fine.
sure your time and experience buying a car is stress-free, fun, and enjoyable. Bozard is a family-owned Ford dealership that has been in business since 1949. Bozard Ford Lincoln has been the recipient of numerous dealer awards, including being ranked #1 automotive dealership in the nation by Dealer Rating. Bozard Ford also has won back-to-back President's Awards, which is the highest honor given by Ford Motor Company. Check them out today online at bozardford.com.
Land Title of America, the oldest title company serving the oldest city. Stephen Collins, the owner of Land Title, has been working in the title insurance industry here in St. Augustine since 1985, specializing in all your title insurance and closing needs. If you have a title issue, there is no one better. Stay local, choose Land Title, call or text him anytime on his cell phone, 904-501-4481. Use Land Title of Associates because...
They give a crap.
There you go. Thanks, team.
All right. These people also give a crap, and they are Abear Kresge and Associates. They are a full-service local CPA firm with a team of skilled professionals dedicated to providing top-level service in areas of tax compliance, planning for business, individuals, estates, and trust, audits, reviews, and other accounting services, business valuations, forensic, not Florida, like Florida.
Not fluoride.
No. Forensic analysis and litigation support. You can reach them at 904-460-0747. That's 904-460-0747.
I'm noticing a trend here, and it's all about 904, like the 904 Now, this network.
Yeah.
All right, but it's time to experience the art of Italian dining at Saint, nestled in the heart of historic St. Augustine. From handmade pastas to rich risottos and indulgent tiramisu, every dish blends authentic Italian flavor with modern elegance. Sip a craft cocktail, savor seasonal ingredients, and enjoy breathtaking views from our second-floor balcony or rooftop patio, where you can take in the bayfront and even spot the lighthouse on a clear day. At Saint, every meal is a celebration. Join us and elevate your dining experience. And I will tell you, as I drove past this today on my way in, the rooftop decks were busy.
Yeah. No,
Beautiful
I haven't
building.
made it over there for lunch yet.
No.
I heard they have a nice lunch also.
Let me know.
So I'm gonna have to make it over there.
Yeah.
Maybe you can actually cross the bridge.
I would cross the bridge for you,
Yeah.
especially to have lunch. The food there is great
Yeah, for the Saint.
for the Saint.
Maybe not so much me, but for the Saint.
Well,
And you like me some days.
one of these days you're going to be St. Troy, so I've got great faith in you.
I don't know about all that.
Well,
I don't know about all that.
We'll look at your good deeds outweigh your conniving machinations, but,
All right. Speaking of saintly people, I'm talking, of course, of Mike Davis,
He used to
a.k.a.
sit
Mike
right
Lewis. I'm keeping the seat warm for him. When quality matters, trust A.D. Davis Construction, North Florida's expert in high-end homes, commercial builds, renovations, and historic restorations. With over 65 years of experience, their dedicated team delivers craftsmanship you can count on and relationships built on trust. This is what they're best at. The trust that their clients have with them, because you know Mike's going to do it right and the team's going to do it right. They don't just build buildings. We build confidence with integrity, performance, and results that keep over 85% of our clients coming back. That's what I was talking about right there. From concept to completion, choose A.D. Davis Construction, where your vision meets our legacy of excellence. All right. Let me take those from you, sir.
Okay.
All right. We got a half hour.
For you.
I'm going to leave that right there.
That's why I put it there.
Because last 2 nights I didn't have these ready and prepared, but Lenny left me a note, and I was prepared tonight. All right. On this evening's show, we're going to do the give and take Blake's going to pick.
Always.
Normally we have Levi, and we're wishing a lot of love to Levi. Levi got in a little accident yesterday. It messed up his truck pretty good, so he doesn't have a vehicle. He's feeling fine.
He's okay?
He's doing
That's
okay.
the important thing.
He might come in either Tuesday or Thursday of next week because we have our Wine Wednesday next Wednesday.
Looking forward to that very much.
And we're out of seats in here. So we might do the wager wire possibly on Thursday night or Tuesday night.
Okay.
But excited about tonight's show. We got some fun topics. I know you have some really good topics. I got some that could get me in trouble. But we're gonna go with that. But I'll lead us off, and we have Trump versus the Pope.
I'm going with the biggest topic in town today, Air Force One.
Air Force
Actually,
One?
That would be the Palace in the Sky from Qatar.
Qatari.
Yes.
The Qatars.
Mm-hmm.
All right. And
Where's the U?
Jamestown. All right.
Okay.
All right, Blake. So you got the Trump versus the Pope, Air Force One, and Jamestown.
I'm going to go with Air Force One.
Air Force One, getting it out of the way.
There you go.
Yeah, because
early.
Yeah, because we teased this in the title yesterday, and guess what? We didn't
get to
about
it.
Well,
We didn't get to it.
whose fault is that, Mr. Pick and Choose?
Yeah, that's probably the guy who picks.
Right.
Yeah, well, we don't pick.
No, we just offer.
We throw out the ideas. Our director / producer is the one that guides us to the content.
And a wonderful job
And
he does.
He does.
Yes.
And then we just got scolded from our producer / director.
I'm telling you.
Which do you want first? You want director or producer? Which one?
I prefer director first, please.
Director / producer. I was
You're a
trying to
hyphen.
remember.
Excellent.
Yeah.
All right. So the ongoing conversation with Air Force One is the Qatari royal family offered up, and what are they going to be flying around in? Which is another question.
They're upgrading.
Oh, of course they
They're
are.
upgrading. They're not flying around in that piece of crud.
Which is only 13 years old compared to Air Force One, which is way older.
Like 40.
Yeah. It was, Donald Trump is very upset because George Herbert Walker Bush used to fly on that plane.
Mm-hmm. So that would have been 88 to 92.
Yeah.
Or
So
89 to 90,
it's way old.
93, yeah.
But the kick with this is they offered it to him as a gift. Now, I think they offered it to him as a gift, not the United States.
That's a gift, not a gift.
No. There'll be gifts a coming. There'll be memes a coming.
There will be gifts on this gift.
Correct.
Mm-hmm.
It's valued at $400 million.
Okay.
The consensus is anywhere between $700 million to $1 billion to retrofit it. And
700 million?
Yeah.
To retrofit it,
Yeah.
and you said it's worth 400 million.
Correct. They're going to have to strip down from all the reports I've read. They're going to have to strip it down to the studs.
That doesn't make any sense.
Of course it doesn't, because they would have to look for any type of spyware, any type of software.
Yeah. And it's got to be missile proof and all that.
Well, that's
fun
what they have
stuff.
to add in all the chaff and all the
what?
Chaff. Chaff is the stuff that they shoot out to confuse the incoming rockets.
Okay.
Yeah, it's like
it's not
foil.
the itchy feeling between your legs.
No. It's the aluminum foil that they shoot out of.
Chafe.
Correct.
Sorry,
Yes.
I get those.
Well, they're probably spelled the same.
Yeah.
But they have to upgrade all the defenses, the electromagnetic pulse avoidances, all the communications.
Mm-hmm.
They have to make sure that it's bug proof. I mean, you've got Republican senators just laughing out loud saying, who's going to sweep for bugs? But they said, they said, Donald, we'll give you a palace in the sky. The emoluments clause says that the president cannot accept gifts of that nature or can't keep them. I mean, Hillary Clinton got jammed up because somebody gave her a $475 necklace, which she then had to turn back over. I mean, there's like, where the Ark of the Covenant ended up in Raiders of the Lost Ark?
Yeah, in that warehouse.
Yeah. The government has a warehouse of gifts that have been given to presidents and the country over years because nobody can keep it personally.
Yeah, and I think we did a show on Bollocks about the strange gifts from different countries and the animals that were given to them.
Right.
There was elephants, there's been lions, there's been
and
bears.
they weren't allowed to keep them.
Yeah.
So
I think Teddy kept some.
Well, he might have moved into Sagamore Hill.
Yeah.
But,
No. He had them in the White House.
Oh, yeah. No, I know that. Well, they can keep them in the White House while you're in office.
Oh.
You just can't keep them forever.
Yeah.
They don't theoretically belong to you. They belong to the country.
And Josh is saying it's supposedly going to the Department of Defense.
Well, that was the loophole. It was the Qatari Ministry of Defense donating it to the Department of Defense. Well, fine. Well, how in the hell does Donald Trump get to keep it after he's out of office and bring it to his personal library?
Yeah.
Where he's going to still fly around in it. Because, you can't have two Air Force Ones out there.
Here's where I think this is a concern I have with Donald. All right. You know how the presidents get their library.
Sure.
All right. Because he was president, wasn't president, and was president again. I could see him asking for two libraries.
Well,
I could see him asking for one in New York and one in Florida.
Interesting. I mean, it's private donations. The federal government doesn't pay for that.
He's like, I want one for 45
right,
and one for 47. I could just see that happening.
I don't know if there's enough gold gilt in the world to cover his libraries.
Yeah, there is.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, there is. Did you not see how much he raised in his campaign?
Oh, yeah.
I can tell you who did see it. Biden.
Yeah.
That's why he's like, I'm out of here.
Well, yeah. Well, yeah, he was told he was out of there. I don't know if he honestly, poor Joe.
Yeah.
And then Jake Tapper is releasing a book a couple days from now about talking how Biden was on the verge of being confined to a wheelchair because of his shuffle.
Oh, wow.
And they had no intention of letting him be seen in the wheelchair.
Is it Taper or Tapper?
Jake Tapper.
Tapper.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. I thought I was saying my enunciation's terrible. So so you just caught me off guard right there. I was like, is that another thing I'm saying wrong?
No.
Okay.
No,
all right.
no,
All right.
no. But we can talk about gold because they made gold from lead. We'll get to alchemy later. That's an option we got too.
If our chooser chooses it.
That's very true.
If our director / producer
yes
finds it in his heart. So I mean, this plane, it's $400 million, but then we're going to tear it down. We're going to tear it down. It's probably going to be worth $10 million. Right. It's not going to fly.
Right.
And then we're going to build it back up. Why don't we just build a plane for $700 million?
Well, we're in the process of building two Air Force Ones. Boeing has a contract, and sadly, it's Boeing. And
Get it done.
Well, they're behind schedule to begin with.
Of course they are. It's Boeing.
Which just by the way, has agreed to sell 160 wide-body planes to Qatari Air. What a coincidence.
Shocker.
What a coincidence. But my question is, why does he get to keep it after he's out of office?
Mm-hmm.
It shouldn't be his. It should be the United States government. First of all. Second of all, this is Mr. MAGA. Make America great again. Buy America. Onshore shit. Mm-hmm. Well, this is not an American plane. Well, I mean, it was built by Boeing, but it belongs to somebody else. This is not making America great.
I was going to say it's an American plane.
Well.
It's a Boeing.
Well.
So that makes it.
Which is sound effect.
Yeah. Because that's Washington, right? And there where Boeing's at?
Seattle, yeah.
Seattle, Washington.
Yeah. What were you going to say, Blake?
Oh, no. I wasn't gonna say anything about it, but yeah, definitely though, like it definitely is like a little bit shady with like how this deal took place though. But I don't know, man. It's but also though Boeing though, but they had to take their time because otherwise they don't want to make an Air Force One where all of a sudden the door explodes on them.
Well, there you
go. Yeah, I think they'll
probably use extra screws on that.
That can't be good. I don't think they'll be cutting corners on that one.
Oh no.
So,
and they're still on order.
Have you ever seen the Beast live? Like the actual Beast, not the one I have.
Not yours.
Not the Beast I have in the parking lot here.
The armor plated limo. Yeah.
Yes.
My Beast is armor plated, but it's just not the highest value.
I've seen the rust holes in the back bumper, so nice try.
That's deception.
Okay. Oh, it's an illusion.
It's an illusion.
I got you.
It's kind of my cloaking.
Okay.
So it's kind of my cloaking.
But no, I have not seen the presidential limo up close and in person.
It's impressive.
It's a heavyweight.
It's
a real heavyweight.
It's impressive
Yeah.
what that thing, the capabilities of that thing,
Sure.
and what it can do. All right, number 2, you had, what was the one you had left over?
It was
You did Air Force
States.
One.
States rankings.
Was that what it was?
Yeah. Or it
Oh,
could
okay.
be-
You didn't have a second one. Okay, you
Oh,
did
yeah.
Air Force One, so you
Right.
didn't have a second one. So you're getting 2 on this one.
Okay.
So you get states rankings. I got Trump versus the Pope and
I'll do alchemy.
alchemy. Great. Alchemy. Director/producer. Which
Yes.
one are we going with?
Trump
State-
versus the Pope.
Trump versus the Pope.
The Pope.
This Pope
All
is
right.
much younger.
This Pope's got some energy in
And
him.
he's from Chicago.
And Chicago's not known for being Trump fans. And,
Not these days.
And I think it's starting. I think Trump's already starting to have a little bit of jealousy because he was the coolest kid in the United States, and like everybody talked about him and stuff like that. But like the last 2 weeks, everybody's been talking about Leo.
Yep.
And him being everybody knows he's a White Sox fan.
Yep. His mother's a Cubs fan. That's what we found
she's
out.
got taste.
Yeah.
She's got taste. But I think there's going to be a conflict within the next 6 months between some of Trump's policies and the Pope's beliefs. And this Pope's not, he seems to be a little more conservative than Francis.
A little bit, yeah.
but definitely not like Benedict.
No.
So I think it's going to be real interesting to see what happens.
I'm not saying that.
No, you're not allowed
I'm
to
not
say
saying
that.
that.
You're not
I
allowed
want my
to,
list.
You're not allowed to say that one.
I want my list.
So I think there's going to be some conflict between the two of them because we're talking about the 2 most powerful people right now in our news and in the world.
Sure.
So I think someone's going to want to be the big dog on the porch. What's your ideas on that?
Well, there's a lot more Catholics than people that live in the United States of America, and it is a global institution. But we'll see what happens. Does Trump start taking away the tax benefits for seminaries, churches, and places that don't pay real and property taxes?
Yeah,
he's doing that with universities.
That might be a
he's
little
threatening
bit-
universities.
That'll go over like a lead balloon.
super
I
risky.
understand that, but it's not beneath him.
Yeah, that's super risky to do
He-
because most of your party is also Catholic.
He's going to lose
as
his
well.
base. He's going to lose his base at that point.
Well, I don't know that he's that. I don't know
I
that
can
he's
tell
that
you this:
foolish.
the people that voted for Trump are, for the most part, all right, they are faith-based decision people. All right, you don't think so?
No, I just think that's crap. Because if they're faith-based Parisian people, they're not sticking to their guns. He's thrice divorced. He's an adulterer. He's sleeping with porn stars. The only thing that he reconciles with any of those
I'm
people
not
is he
saying
doesn't
it-
drink.
And if you watched any of my old shows of Uncommon Ground, I didn't understand it.
It's a big disconnect in my mind.
I did not understand it.
It's the abort.
But and you might be right, but that number is going down because of the technology and stuff like that too. But the people that are actually voting for him, for the most part, are going to be leaning towards faith-based decisions.
Mhm.
And that's why you're seeing so many of the Hispanic voters
Mm-hmm.
drifting over from the Democratic Party to the Republican Party, is because they're faith-based decision makers.
And a lot of them are Catholic. Absolutely.
And a lot of the Hispanics are Catholic.
Correct.
So I think, just like we were saying, the Trump Pope thing, I think when it comes down to mano a mano with his group, I think the Pope's going to win that argument.
Yeah, especially if he moves a little bit further to the right from Francis.
Mm-hmm.
Because a lot of that is, same-sex marriage, the word we cannot say, and things of that nature.
Mm-hmm.
I think it's less about women becoming deacons and things of that nature. I think it's less about the absolution of people who have been divorced and being able to go back and take communion, things of that nature that have been a little bit loosened up. Yes, a lot of Catholics are very conservative, but there's a part of people who are Catholic who are a tad more liberal in overall situations. The church for the longest time has been very doctrinaire. One of the best things in the United States and a lot of other places was moving away from Latin language mass. You could do the mass in Latin, but people didn't understand a word they were saying.
It's not benefiting anybody.
It became rote. You recognize the words, but you might not have understood them. So
what he wrote?
I'm usually the pedantic asshole.
All right. Moving on. Now I'm at Jamestown. We still have your two on the board.
Okay.
What do you have?
Alchemy and states rankings.
Alchemy and states rankings. Just to throw it in there, least southern cities in the South. All right.
Cities. All right. I got
Yes.
the first one, I think, but okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. So I'm with you on number one.
Yeah.
We talked about this one. Blake, you have 4 to choose from, director and producer, and I think we have a chance to get to 3 of these 4. I'm going to leave these on the table.
All right, let's go Alchemy.
Alchemy.
Okay. This will be a little quick one.
Gold digger.
But what? Cheap jokes are free. Good jokes, you got to pay the cover charge, man.
Yeah. Try the bill.
So alchemists since the Middle Ages have been trying to turn lead into gold. And, it's the sorcerer's stone, it's the philosopher's. They've been trying this in a jillion different ways, and they've never been able to do it. Until recently, at the Large Hadron Collider over in, I think it's in CERN, Switzerland.
Mhm.
That may not be where it is, but it's in Switzerland.
Say it with confidence.
I usually do.
Yeah, but you did the kind of hesitation there.
No, that's 'cause
I'm
I
going to
wasn't
let you try that again. Lenny, take 2.
So at the Large Hadron Collider,
Lenny, take 3.
CERN, Switzerland, where they got this big collider and they smash atoms.
You were ahead of the clicker, but that's okay.
Fair enough.
All right. It's in Switzerland.
I try to exactly, and it's large.
I saw it.
Very large.
I saw it. It's huge.
Yeah.
Huge.
It's a big circle.
Yeah.
It's buried in the ground where they smash atoms. Well, they took lead particles and crashed them into each other, and they got gold.
Mhm.
They literally turned lead into gold,
Just by smashing them together.
smashing them together. Which, if you think of it,
Superman never did that. I saw him take coal and turn it into a diamond once.
Yeah, for Lois.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So now that we know Superman can do that, I mean, if humans can do it, Superman can
Well,
do it.
it kind
obviously.
of makes a little bit of sense that it's plausible, and it obviously is plausible because they
They
succeeded.
did it.
There's 82 protons in lead, and there's 79 protons in gold.
Mhm.
So they had to lose 3 protons. And when they crashed these two elements together, 3 of those protons disappeared, and they had gold.
What's the quality of this gold? Does it say?
It was tough to figure out because it lasted for, what was it? It was 29 trillionths of a microsecond.
So it didn't stay gold.
No, it didn't stick around too terribly long at all.
Then it's not gold.
Well, it was for 29 trillionths of a
It
second.
gave a glimpse.
Really, it was glittering.
Yeah.
It was glittering because all that glitters
That's
is
like
gold.
me jumping in the air and saying I'm flying.
Okay.
Right?
And that would be a lot longer than 29
That's
trillionths
longer
of a
than
second.
29 trillionths of
I'm
a
just
second.
reporting the news here.
What kind of voodoo science is that shit?
Hey, somewhere there is a
Blake
there's
can fly for that long. You ever seen
Whoa.
Blake jump?
Yeah.
He can barely jump over a hamburger.
Oh, look at him. There you go.
Oh, that was
All right. Very golden of you.
Yeah, he almost got a nosebleed. He was so high.
I just thought that was a very interesting thing. But they're very excited about it.
Yeah.
But at least now they know it's possible, so they're going to keep working on
If
this.
they can
Yeah.
get it to hold.
Sure.
Wow. All right. That is just that one's hilarious. You had me excited about it, and then I realized that it only held for that long.
I don't even know how brief 29 trillionths of a second is.
I don't think there's a stopwatch that can do it at that level. Evidently there is.
Push the button, right? Exactly.
Evidently there is. Bill Nye out there somewhere.
How many zeros in a trillion?
Saying he's making gold. I mean, that's like me going, what's the old French thing? I make gold. You didn't see it? I'll do it again. There you go. I make gold. That's what it is.
Yeah, pretty much.
Yeah.
Pretty much.
Ah, gosh, come on. Come on, scientists. And people wonder why we question science.
Yeah.
That's why. Right there. That's why. All right. I got Jamestown. You got
States rankings.
states rankings. And then I got least southern city in the South. Cities in the South. That's harder to say than I thought. All right. All right. Which one we going with, director?
I'm gonna go with least southern cities in the South.
Excellent.
Least southern cities in the South. All right. You and I both thought
Absolutely.
the same one's number one. And that's Miami.
Yep.
All right. I think that's number one. Blake, what do you think's number one?
I was gonna say North Florida City. I was gonna say Orlando, probably because because they mainly focus more on tourists and actually being like, hey, we're in Florida here.
No,
Yeah.
and it
Makes
has
sense.
it has a true melting pot in Orlando because of the workforce it creates. It's constantly growing. People are coming there. It's close enough to the villages where people are like, let's go to the villages. And then it's like, villages suck. And then they go to a city because they moved out of a city and they're like, let's go to Orlando. And that's how they end up in Orlando.
And
And that's the voice everyone who goes to the villages actually uses. So, in case you didn't know.
And it's a pretty cosmopolitan city in the fact that there's a big Chinatown, there's a big Vietnamese population, obviously a lot of Hispanics.
Mhm.
So it is. Like you said, a melting pot.
Its Brazilian population has actually exploded. I think as far as U.S. cities with Brazilians in it per capita, Orlando is number one.
Do Brazilians count as Hispanics?
They're of Latin descent, but they're pretty much Portuguese.
Yeah, yeah. Interesting.
So it's a Latin. It's a Latin-based language. Portuguese is. So,
well, yeah,
so
but
officially-
it's a lot more guttural.
I don't
It's
think I
closer
would
to
call. I
German.
don't think I would call them Hispanic.
So officially, yes, Brazilians are considered Latino under
yeah,
like, US
Latino, but
Right.
not Hispanic.
Do you have to be from Hispaniola to be Hispanic?
No.
Okay. So actually,
Spain.
so on the
Yeah.
census,
Okay.
Oh, I thought you were talking about the little island.
I was. Hispaniola, which, by the way, they speak French on Hispaniola.
Only on half of it.
Right, correct.
On the really, really crappy half.
on the half where
Have you
takes
ever-
11 man, that is a rough place
Do
these days.
this. Go to Google. Go to Google Earth.
If I Google, Julie's going to hit me.
Go to well, what's it old Conan O'Brien where he's like, go to Google Earth
Okay.
and look at the aerial of that island, and you will be amazed at the line between the Dominican Republic and Haiti that you can see from space. I mean, it is incredible because Haiti, they over tempered and they never replanted, and Haiti's just a horrible place.
Yeah, I think the Dominicans like that
in
mountain.
our hemisphere, I don't know if there's a place that's as bad as Haiti.
And it's dangerous these days.
Yeah.
I got the Google Map, Google Earth up, and so where you can see Haiti and Dominican Republic.
Okay. We probably won't be able to see it until the delay gets to us because our eyes aren't that good. Yeah, you can see where the vegetation stops. See the line?
Yep.
Yeah. That's incredible. So yeah. I mean, if you look to the right, you can actually see exactly. I mean, the vegetation is dead on that line.
And it used to be a very productive country. I mean, France was big on all their sugar cane there.
Yeah.
You know, they were big on that.
So, no, but I would say Brazilians are Latino, but not Hispanic.
Yes.
Okay.
So I did look up. U.S. Census does not include Brazilians as being part of Hispanics.
Okay.
Okay. All right. Every once in a while, I get one right. Can I get a bell ring or something when that happens?
Let me give you some applause.
All right.
All right. That's
All
enough
right. We
applause.
have two cities that we're saying is the least southern cities and still in the South.
Right.
What other city do you find is in the South but not southern? I have two that really come to mind. And one used to be the epitome of southern to me. And in the last 20 or 30 years, it's not southern.
That's tough for me to figure out. I'm wondering, does Texas count as the South?
Yeah. I mean,
I'm going to go with Austin.
Austin's actually a good selection.
Yeah.
I mean, and mine's similar for that, almost the same reason. Mine's Nashville.
Okay.
Nashville used to be, when I thought about, okay, that's a southern city. But now,
right,
if you go to Nashville, it's not a southern city.
Well, that was just, after Las Vegas, Nashville became the next boom town, and everybody started moving to Nashville. The building boom there was huge.
Mm-hmm.
So, I mean, there's a lot of people that have moved to Nashville in particular, and Tennessee in general, in the last 5 or 6 years, that came from the rest of the country. So that probably would have some impact on it. That makes good sense.
Yeah, but if you also count the Mason-Dixon line, though, I mean, wouldn't you also have to say Baltimore is probably the least
Nope.
southern city?
Baltimore is a southern city.
Yeah.
Baltimore's a southern city.
Yeah, I agree with Lenny on that one. So I understand where you're going with it. It feels the urban feel of it. But no, it's a southern city. I would put
and they consider themselves that
I would
way.
put Charlotte ahead of Baltimore, definitely as least southern in the South.
Okay.
Because I think Charlotte's I like your Austin answer. Right? They never came into my thought process, but they definitely would crack my top.
Well,
they would crack my top 5 least southern in the South.
Yeah, you don't necessarily think of Texas as a southern state, though it is.
Oh wait, then probably I should consider then Washington D.C. then because that's south of Maryland.
Yeah.
But people don't consider Washington a southern city at all, I don't think.
But it is south of the Mason-Dixon.
Correct.
So,
but Baltimore, they consider themselves southern.
Despite being north of Washington D.C.
All right, Blake, what's your number 2? All right, what's your number 2 least southern in the South? We only got one more, so you got to be thinking about one more.
Oh, I got one more to go?
One more
okay,
to
I can do that.
Well, besides, I'm going to say Atlanta as well because
I can get behind Atlanta also. I think I put that in the categories Nashville and Charlotte and those.
And we learned last night Atlanta is further west than people would think. Whew, that was painful.
Sorry, Lane, for not giving it you and giving you guys.
No. That was
order.
self-inflicted, Blake. That was self-inflicted.
Jeez, he's still.
Yeah, we got Louisville. We got Detroit.
I stuck Atlanta between when he asked it when he got home. I stuck it between Cleveland and Detroit. I was like, okay, there's not a lot of room, but I know where Florida is at is much further west
right,
than a lot of the northeast part of our country.
Absolutely. There's like an hour time change between sunsetting in Maine and the sunsetting in Florida.
Mm-hmm.
It's amazing. Yeah.
Well, doesn't that have to do with the?
No, it's how much further west we are.
Well, I think it has to do with how much closer we are to, because we're not shaped like a ball like people think. Because we've been spinning for so long, we're kind of oblong like that.
Yeah, we're bulging.
Yeah. So the ones closer to the equator will have, in the summertime, are going to get longer days. That's why the sun sets. That I think that has more to do with it than the east and the west. You're going to get longer days, or your winters and your summers are going to be closer together. If you live on the equator, you're going to get 12 hours and 12 hours, whether it's winter or whether it's summer. When I was hiking in Maine, I was hiking in the summer at 11 o'clock at night. Yeah. There's nowhere in the south part of our.
And in the winter, sunsets at 3:30.
Yeah, exactly.
It's like it's pitch dark by 3 p.m.
Well, I mean, when we went to Iceland, it was horrible. There was literally like 5 hours of sunshine. I don't understand how people can live there. I can't understand how people can live there.
A lot of indoor activities. They should be taking care of the population of the planet all by themselves.
I mean, I'm not as solar driven as Mike. Mike's very solar driven. I mean, the sun goes down, you might as well just throw blankets on him. He's done. But I'm not quite that. But I think everybody has a little bit of that solar energy that comes with it. So
you know what, Bobby? That's a pretty good point.
What do you think?
He's saying Asheville.
Oh yeah. Yeah. No. That's a good one. So all right, your third one, and then we're going to move to our wager wire.
All right, I'm going to go with Asheville.
Asheville. Bobby. He's
I'll take Bobby.
Grabbing your answer.
I'll work with
there.
my friend Bobby.
He's grabbing your answer there.
Mm-hmm.
All right, I'm going to go with one that's, I don't know if we're going to consider this one Southern or not. It's technically Southern, but I'm going to go with St. Louis. The people are just mean.
Yeah, and that's up in the north. That's in the
It's in
north
Missouri.
Midwest. Yeah.
But it's still considered. Guess which side they were on.
Yeah, and well, if you listen to Kathleen Madigan, who I think is one of the funniest comedians out there,
Guess which
She's-
side they were on.
she said, you know, we were so confused in the Civil War, we never left our property. We were shooting on our front lawns at each other because
Yeah.
we didn't know what side we were
We're
on.
not even sure where.
Yeah, yep.
So
She is a
but
funny
But I
woman.
mean, that's the one I said. It's borderline. Technically, it's a Southern city,
Okay.
but yeah, it's just it doesn't have Southern hospitality.
No.
It doesn't have great culture there, in my opinion. I'm
It's
sorry.
got blues and it's got ribs.
Okay, I'll give you that. All right, but yeah, no. It's
Yeah,
my least favorite city.
No, I can see that.
It's my least favorite city.
You got a big
The
arch.
fact that I almost got mugged there too.
Well, let's just say there's
Yeah.
a little
That's
bit
a
of.
story for another time.
Yeah, the fact that I almost got mugged there too. But it's yeah. All right, Blake, do you have a third?
I'm gonna say Louisville.
Louisville. Okay.
Really? I can see that being Southern.
Yeah, there's some
Yeah.
bells there.
I think so.
Some Southern
Yeah,
bells
yeah.
there. So, not going to take it away from you, but I got you.
Right.
I got you. You know, another city that's in the South that's not Southern, Myrtle Beach.
There you go.
Nope.
Home of 80 golf courses and 75 miniature golf courses.
Yep. Nope.
Pick a theme. They got a miniature golf course in that theme.
It's in the South geographically, but definitely not Southern.
I'm gonna override that because I went there for my cousin's wedding like 5 years ago. It definitely feels like the snowbirds we're trying to force their way into a southern city. So I'd still say there's still a little bit of the southern charm there, but it's not gonna be that bad. But definitely though, South Myrtle Beach is much more southern than regular Myrtle Beach.
Okay. All right.
Yeah, and plus also a fun fact, their South Myrtle Beach, their welcome sign says "Hometown of Vanna White."
Okay.
I'd be proud to have Vanna as my-
Absolutely.
yeah, I'd be proud of that. All right, it is time for the wager wire. Now, Lenny, you were the big wiener
Mm-hmm.
last week. Blake, can you go get the trophy that's in the lobby? Because I feel Lenny should have this trophy in front of him for the wager wire. And then each week, whoever has the
Okay.
best week gets to hold the wager wire award.
Well, thank you very much for that. And you guys talked me into that. It was a double win. I took the Knicks to win, and you convinced me that the 10 points was just exorbitant. So and the Knicks won the game outright, obviously, and that was great.
Yeah.
So, dun,
Here it is.
Oh, I'd like to thank the Academy and my fellow bettors for this award. Please, may it not be the last game I win.
He won $18 last week.
That was a little bit more than that.
Yeah. So, all right. With all your wisdom and your winnings from last week,
Mm-hmm.
what is your wager wire winning pick this week?
Well, I'm kind of hoping that I'm a lock here for this week, and it could be as early as tonight. I'm pretty sure I just took the Knicks to win tonight, but that's just because I'm rooting for the Knicks. But I saw that there was a wager on the outcome of the series after the Knicks won the first game.
Okay.
And it was, and I don't know if it was after that. No, it was when they first game.
All right. So in this game tonight,
Mm-hmm.
Celtics are at home
And favored.
and they're favored by 4.5 with Tatum out.
Correct, which I don't quite understand.
Okay. So,
But I did place 3 bets on the series outcome. The Knicks to win 4 games to 1, the Knicks to win 4 games to 2, and the Knicks to win 4 games to 3. 4 games to 1 is, and if the Knicks win tonight, it's a nice little payoff. 4 to 2 is a smaller payoff, and 4 to 3 is a bigger payoff. I did not take the Knicks to sweep, which was good because I was not expecting that to happen
Okay.
at all. So I've got that action going tonight. And then I also, took the chalk in the PGA. I took Bryson DeChambeau, Scotty Scheffler, and Rory McIlroy. And if I'm not mistaken, those guys are playing in a threesome to start the game.
So who do you have?
In the PGA?
Scheffler?
I took the chalk. I took Rory. I took Rory, Bryson DeChambeau, and Scotty Scheffler.
Okay,
I
so
didn't take
you
Xander.
took the top three.
Correct.
You took the top three. Of those three, if you had to pick one, who are you going with?
Rory's been hot. I don't know if he's emotionally drained after winning the Masters. Maybe he's just enthused and excited. Scheffler's always a force, but he hasn't been. He's regrouped after the Masters.
He won huge last week, didn't he?
Yeah. He's a force. But there's a lot of money to be made on Xander Schauffele.
Yeah.
I don't know if he's going to win, but he's in the starting threesome. Rory, Xander, and Scotty are in a threesome together playing tomorrow.
Yeah.
Paying off at 8:22.
All right. You can't not like Scheffler. You just can't.
Right.
He's just so consistent in where he's at. I like Rory because he always plays well at Quail Hollow.
Mm-hmm.
All right. I still am waiting for Hamburg to really catch fire. So I only did 2 this week, and Rory and Hamburg are the 2 I'm leaning towards. And I think Morikawa is always in the mix.
Yeah.
So if you had to play a player to be in the top 10, Morikawa is a good bet with decent money behind it. But I think in my opinion, it's Rory's tournament to lose.
Okay.
And Scheffler's going to be on his heels. I had DeChambeau in the Masters, and he hurt me. He hurt my feelings. So I'm going to take off a major with DeChambeau
Right.
just because he hurt my feelings.
Well, there you
And
go.
my wallet.
I know. You're just a sensitive man.
Yeah, I mean, I'm a guy who just, if you hurt me once, I don't give you a second chance.
But for a couple of bucks, there's some big odds out there.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
I mean, I like, and you got to go. You got to love the name Maverick McNeely.
Mm-hmm. Yeah,
he's 10,000 to 1.
I can tell you. Yeah, that's ridiculous too. But I mean, a player
any given day.
Tommy Fleetwood's not a bad guy to throw some money at.
Tommy Fleetwood.
He's on the verge, and he's so consistent, and he's there, and he's steady. Fleetwood would probably be my sleeper if I had to throw somebody in there like that. So Blake, who you got your top 2, and who's your sleeper?
So right now, I do think it's probably going to be Rory and then Scheffler possibly going at it. Sleeper, I'm going to say Patrick Cantlay might be very good. But also though, I wouldn't be surprised if like the best top live golfer is actually Joaquin Niemann. He might be a good sleeper. Then possibly like a great senior to watch out for is Phil.
I was looking at that.
See if he can make the cut.
Yeah,
if he
makes the cut
at plus 25,000.
Yeah, if he makes a cut, even
that's worth worth $5 just to But I don't like him, so I'm not gonna.
But you started with the NBA. As far as NBA bets, you're thinking the Knicks are going to close it out tonight, or
I do.
Okay.
I do. They won 2 in Boston already. If not tonight, then it'll be the next game.
All right, Blake, what are you thinking about that game? The Celtics Knicks.
I do think it's gonna. I do think the Knicks are gonna get them. So I do think this series is done. I don't think Boston has any life left, and we have seen the Knicks take down the Celtics in the Garden with a full straight Tatum.
That's the Boston Garden. Let's be clear.
Did I have like who we had to win the NBA over here somewhere?
I think
Not
some
that I'm
point.
aware of. No.
Do you want me to find the archive?
I thought I had it over here somewhere.
Jalen Brunson's got a big chip on his shoulder too.
Well, I can tell you this.
Well, hey, but,
I think the Knicks are probably going to win the series.
Mm-hmm.
I don't think the Knicks are going to win tonight. I don't think the Knicks are going to win tonight. There's enough champions on that team to play with enough pride. The Knicks are very athletic and entertaining to watch, but I don't think the Knicks are closing it out tonight. I got the money line. I'm not giving up points.
Okay.
I think it's going to be a close game.
And you're taking the Celtics.
But I got the money line on the Celtics.
All right.
Is where I'm at with that.
We'll
the other game tonight is Minnesota Golden State Warriors. Minnesota is 10.5 in Minnesota. I really liked the over in the last game. It was at 200.5. All right. Guess what it finished at? This is Troy Blevins' luck. All right. 199. Shot missed at the end. In and out.
What happens?
Yeah. That's, in and out. That's what happens with my money. It comes in and goes out. Comes in and goes out. So I still like the over in that game. It's
Okay.
at 203. It's a little bit higher today in Minnesota. I still like the over in that game. And then tomorrow night is Oklahoma City versus Denver. Oklahoma City is on the road, and they're favored by 4.5. What's your thoughts on that one? I'm assuming you like Minnesota in the Golden State game. I mean,
well, Curry's not playing, right?
yeah,
So you got to go with Minnesota.
yeah,
And he who you can't pronounce. They got Wembanyama there.
yeah, whatever his name is.
Okay. Yeah, and I don't. In all honesty, I expect the Knicks to win this series, and I don't expect them to go much further. But maybe, you know, you don't know.
Mhm.
I don't know. But
Right.
I'll be satisfied with this for the short term.
All right, who you got? You got Oklahoma City versus Denver tomorrow night. Who you thinking?
I'll take the Nuggets.
Okay, you got the Nuggets. All right, they're getting 4.5. Are you taking them on the money line? Or are you taking them getting the points?
And I'll take the points and keep the game close.
Okay, all right. Blake, what are your feelings about those two games?
I definitely do think it's going. I do think the favorites are going to take the games. I'm definitely questioning the point spread though with Minnesota though. But
10.5's a lot of points.
it's a lot of points there. So I'm questioning that. I definitely feel comfortable if I was to do the Thunder point spread. I do expect Rudy Gobert tonight to get a double. I think he should have a great closeout performance.
All right.
If you're from Long Island, a double would be an All-American. It's a drive-through hamburger stand, and their double is great.
Yeah, and I think it's also an In-N-Out burger. It's
Yeah.
a double has also. So if you do a player prop on there, who you think's getting a? Are you talking about the Minnesota game?
Yeah.
Who's getting the double?
I say Rudy Gobert is possibly going to get the double.
Okay. All right. Double. His over in points alone is at 8.5.
Mm-hmm.
So you're saying he's definitely going to get 8.5.
Yeah.
So your strong bet, your Blake blockbuster is Rudy Gobert over 8.5. You good with that
Correct.
one? Okay. All right. That's a strong one. I mean, not considered one of the superstars as far as scoring goes. I mean, I do like Jimmy Butler, because he's really the true scoring option at 26.5. But honestly, since he's been with Golden State, he's been averaging closer to 22 and 23, but that was without Curry on the court. So he truly is the main scoring option on that team. So I would look at him getting that number also. All right. Rudy Gobert, he's gonna get his rebounds. I agree with you there.
Mhm.
So, all right, the third game, Oklahoma City, Denver. What are you thinking there, Blake?
I think possibly the good there's always been like a huge meme about Shea Gilgeous-Alexander, the Oklahoma State star, consistently getting 31. Right now, I believe he's at 30.5 points.
Yeah, he's at 30. He's at 30.5.
So I definitely see him getting like a 30 tomorrow night, but I think you have to possibly put down Jokic again, getting a triple double to save his.
That's a big bet.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, you can put a little bit of money on that one and still walk away with a pretty good chunk.
Yeah.
No, I definitely like him at 28.5 because I think he's got that dog in him. And I think Joker's not going to – I think you're going to know who's going to win that game in the first quarter. And if Joker comes out and takes control of that game,
Right.
It's over. If Joker comes out and lays an egg in that first quarter, it's over. What's the saying? You can't win a game in the first quarter, but you dang sure lose it.
Yeah.
So I can see Joker having a big night tomorrow night.
Indeed.
All right.
And it's a big day in the sports world. NFL schedule comes out tonight at 8 o'clock.
NFL.
Yeah.
You got your
That's why I was going
You got
Jags.
you got your Jags shirt on.
No Jags.
So you know what division they're playing against, like the cross division they're playing against? Or has that been announced yet?
So they officially announced like who's going to be the 2025 opponents, but we're just unsure who's like when is each game going to be played.
Correct. We know who they're playing against. We just don't know when they're playing them.
Yeah, but
I know the Jets are coming to town.
Mhm.
You know the home and away schedule. You just don't know the dates applied to that.
yeah, and
And they're playing the Rams in L.A.
Mhm.
I mean London. I'm sorry.
Yep. So I already figured out for week 4 for us for the Steelers, we're going to be playing our game in Dublin against the Vikings. And my mom and I are officially guaranteed we're going to Dublin to watch that game.
Nice. That'll be fun.
That is.
That should be a great trip.
Should be. But I'm still praying that we don't get Aaron Rodgers though. I don't want Aaron Rodgers.
I don't understand why you don't want Aaron Rodgers. Your quarterbacks right now are nothing. They are nothing. This is a guy who's won a Super Bowl. When he played and when he was healthy, he was above average last year.
I don't want that guy crapping on the Pat McAfee show saying, "Hey, our receivers suck," when in reality it's just you throwing the ball back. But no, you have to be a diva
I hate
about
to
it.
tell you this, but you've had some of the worst crybaby receivers in the history of the sport.
It's not our fault.
Well, it is your fault. You're the ones who picked them. It is your fault. So if you get one crybaby quarterback who gets you victories, take the freaking victories. You know? You have 7 rings. You want an 8th
6.
when you need a quarterback. It doesn't matter who. If you don't have a good quarterback, you do not win in the NFL. So that's it.
And they got rid of a couple of their malcontents as well.
Yeah. So, all right, baseball.
Been very good to me.
Baseball. Who and what games are you thinking? And do you have a parlay out there that you really like?
No, I got beat up the other night in the Padres Angels game because I was listening to MLB radio, and they were talking about there's this big money Japanese pitcher in the Angels who has yet to win a game, and there's a kid that came over to the Padres who was bouncing around a couple teams last season, and since he's been playing for the Padres, he's been really, really great. So every now and again, I'll just take the, I'll look for a little bit of money instead of just taking the heads up. And I took the Padres by a run and a half, and they were doing fine until the top of the ninth. So, there's a perversity to this because it was 5-3 and I was golden. Then it was 5-4 and I was screwed. And then it was 5-5 and I was delighted. Because then it goes into extra innings, and all you need is a 2-run home run, and you win.
Yep.
Or actually, it was the bottom of the ninth. But be that as it may, you got to be careful because if the team that you're taking is the home team, a run wins it. You need the 2, so you need a 2-run home run. Which last season I had that happen a couple more times than once. But the closers for the Padres just could not do it. 2 of those runs were to tie the game were walked-in runs. And then with the bases loaded, guy clocks a grand slam, and the Angels won 9-5. I was put out of my misery brutally early in the top of the ninth.
All right. I have a couple parlays out there. I like the Reds pitcher tonight over the White Sox getting more than 5 strikeouts. So I have that one out there. All right, I have the leadoff special in a parlay. So I have Haggerty, Lindor, and Kwan all getting singles. All you have to do is get hits. Parlay them together.
Doesn't matter when.
Doesn't matter when.
Okay.
All they do is get the hits, parlay them together. It makes it a good bet. You got 3 guys that are really hot right now,
Lindor's very hot.
hitting over 300. All 3 of them are hitting over 300. Then they're going to get more at bats than anyone else coming to the lineup, so that gives them more opportunity. So when I play my hits parlays, one of my tricks is go with the leadoff guy who's hot,
Right.
pair him up with the next one, and I do a leadoff special on my hits parlay, on my player parlay.
So it's Lindor and who?
Lindor, Haggerty, and Kwan. All right. All right. I like the favorites tonight and I put some teams together on my other parlay in the Phillies St. Louis game, and I'm just playing the money line because I'm doing the parlay, so I'm not laying out 1.5 or anything like that. So here's the guys I took. I took Philly over St. Louis.
Okay.
In the first one. I took Detroit over Boston. Detroit's really been hitting the ball well, and they've been playing well.
You got to parlay it. There's not a lot of money in that game.
I got the Braves beating the Nats. Braves are really hot right now in the last. And I have who's the Mets playing?
Mets are playing Pittsburgh at home on TV, MLB Network.
I have the Mets at home. I like that game. And Paul's not pitching tonight. Never bet against the Pirates when Skeins is pitching.
Mets beat them.
Yeah. So,
they beat him in that game.
But that's still not a bet you want to take.
Right. They did not beat him, but they beat them.
Yeah. You don't want to take that bet. He's
tough.
He's as good as it gets. And the other one, if you want to throw in a fifth one to make your numbers a little bit better, Los Angeles is sitting out there, and I think they got walloped by the A's like 10-1 or something.
Really?
And I can't see the team of that quality losing 2 back-to-back. And if you just leave them, if you just play the money line by itself, it's minus 300.
Correct.
So, you got to pair them up with somebody.
Anybody. Yeah.
And it's just to add value to your parlay.
Yeah.
So.
Yeah, the Dodgers don't lose a whole lot in a row.
Yeah. So,
and they're playing at home, by the way.
Yeah. All right. So any other bets that we should know about for the weekend? I'm saying Hamburg and Rory are my 2 guys for the weekend. Should be some fun golf. And if you had to pick 2, who you going with, Scheffler and
I'm
Rory?
going with Scotty and Rory. I'm taking the chalk.
Yeah.
And and with Hard Rock, if they finish in the top 5 but they don't win, you get a bonus bet.
Okay.
So
there you go.
Very nice of them.
Blake, what are your 2 that you think are if you had to pick 2?
I'm going to say possibly do tonight's. I'm probably going to say Knicks take the points, and then also possibly Hideki finish in the top. Hideki Matsuyama in the top 20.
In the top 20. Ooh,
okay.
I think that's not going to get you a whole lot, but I think
I was going to say, right, there shouldn't be too much money behind that.
I think it's a safe bet. All right, and no baseball bets.
Not feeling it. Not feeling anything. I'm rooting hard for the Reds tonight though, because tonight is Pete Rose night.
Yeah,
really?
Yeah, that's the other reason why I think Lobolo. I mean, I think he's gonna step up. So it's a big night in Cincinnati. So I think he's gonna step up. All right, guys. Quick rundown, and Blake, throw in if I miss any of these. I got Anastasia Diner, Powell Heating and Air, Saint, Solar Stick, Bozard Ford. We're in the Bozard Ford studio.
Yeah.
Brightway, A to Z, Abear Kresge and Associates, Land Title, A.D. Davis. Who else am I missing, Blake?
Kaisers.
Kaisers.
Did I miss anybody else?
No, I think you're all good.
All right. I tried to.
You get the title company?
Yep. I got Land Title because they give a crap. All right. Thank you, guys. We'll see you tomorrow night. If you have not watched the morning show, I strongly suggest you watch the morning show with Father Matt Marino.
I'll do that
telling
tonight.
his story of what happened on that horrible day at the Juniper Cafe on San Marco. Wonderful man, great, just great aura all around him. The entire time he was talking this morning, it just made you feel comfortable. So.
And I know I'm preaching to the choir here, but I would presume most of our regular viewers have subscribed on YouTube. But if you haven't, please do that. It's for free, and it'll help us out because we are so close to a threshold. It's very exciting.
Yeah. Now, our YouTube threshold, if we get there, then it gets us oodles into the algorithms of a lot of people. So, oodles.
Yeah, yes. I like oodles. Yeah. Oodles of noodles.
Yeah. Not like Googling, but oogles.
Cup of soup.
Yeah. Okay. All right. Thanks, guys. We'll see you tomorrow.
Bye-bye.
Bye.